The woman's scream cut through the desert night like glass breaking. Dutch heard it from half a mile out, high, desperate, then suddenly silent. He twisted the throttle harder. The Hell's Angels patch on his vest caught moonlight as his Harley tore toward the abandoned rest stop where headlights waited in the dark. Welcome to Where Shadows Speak. Before we start this story, tell us where in the world you are watching from. And if you believe kindness should never die, please subscribe and help us keep stories like this alive. Dutch killed his engine 50 yards out. Let the bike coast silent into gravel. 3 vehicles sat under the broken fluorescent lights. A sedan with Idaho plates, a pickup truck, and a white van with no windows. The van's rear doors hung open. Dutch saw movement inside, shadows wrestling, a flash of blonde hair. He'd stopped for gas, that was all. Fill up, grab coffee, ride another 200 miles before sunrise. But that scream changed everything. Dutch had heard that sound before, in another life, another desert. When he'd been too late to help someone he loved, not this time, he moved low and fast, reached the sedan first, empty, driver's door open, purse on the ground, contents scattered, lipstick, wallet. Photo of 2 kids smiling at a birthday cake. The pickup was idling. Country music played soft from the speakers. Baseball bat on the passenger seat. Dutch grabbed it. 2 men stood by the van. One held a phone, filming. The other had his hand clamped over a woman's mouth. She was young, maybe 25. Sundress torn at the shoulder, eyes wide with terror. "Please," she managed when the hand slipped. "My kids, they're in the car." Dutch stepped into the light. The bat hung loose at his side. "Let her go." Both men turned. The one with the phone actually laughed. "Old man, walk away, this ain't your business." Dutch was 46, graying beard, scars on his knuckles. The Hell's Angels patch on his back had been earned through blood and years of riding beside men who'd become brothers. "I'm making it my business." The second man, bigger, crew cut, neck tattoos, released the woman and shoved her toward the van. She stumbled. Dutch moved fast, swung the bat low, connected with crew cut's knee. The man went down screaming. Phone guy dropped his device and charged. Dutch sidestepped, brought the bat across his ribs, not hard enough to break anything. Hard enough to drop him. The woman scrambled away from the van. She was crying, shaking. "My babies, they're in the car. They put something in my coffee at the gas station. I woke up here." Dutch kept the bat ready. "Can you walk?" She nodded. "Get to your car, lock the doors, I'll be there in a minute." She ran. Dutch turned back to the 2 men on the ground. Crew cut was cradling his knee. Phone guy gasped for air. "You're gonna tell me who else is involved," Dutch said quietly. "And you're gonna tell me right now." Crew cut spat blood. "You just signed your death warrant, old man. We got friends, lots of friends." Dutch crouched down, made sure they could see his eyes. "So do I." He zip-tied their wrists with extras from his saddlebag. Every biker carried them. Never knew when you'd need to secure cargo or, in this case, predators. He took their phones. Found the woman's purse and keys. She sat in her sedan, both kids still asleep in car seats. Toddlers, boy and girl. They hadn't woken through any of it. "I'm Dutch," he said through the window. "You hurt?" She shook her head. Tears streamed down her face. "They were going to," her voice broke. "I don't even remember stopping. I was driving to Phoenix. I just needed coffee. They drugged you. Rest stop's probably their hunting ground." Dutch glanced back at the van. "You got somewhere safe to go." "My sister's in Phoenix." "You call her. Tell her you're coming. Then you call 911 and tell them what happened here." The woman looked at the 2 men on the ground. "What about them?" Dutch's jaw tightened. "I'll wait till cops come." Sheriff's deputy arrived 40 minutes later. Young guy, couldn't be more than 25. Name tag read Harper. "Hell of a mess," Harper said, surveying the scene. "You Dutch Mercer?" Dutch nodded. "Woman said you saved her, said these 2 were gonna." Harper didn't finish, just looked at crew cut and phone guy with disgust. "They part of something bigger?" Dutch asked. Harper's expression shifted. "Can't discuss an ongoing investigation." "That's a yes." The deputy studied him, saw the patch, the leather, the bat still leaning against Dutch's bike. "Look, I appreciate what you did, but you can't go playing vigilante." Dutch met his eyes. "Didn't plan to, just planned to ride through. But sometimes you don't get to choose which fights find you." Harper took statements, loaded the two men into his cruiser. Before he left, he handed Dutch a card. "Detective in Phoenix might want to talk to you. These guys, they're connected to some disappearances, women vanishing from rest stops." Dutch pocketed the card, watched the cruiser's lights fade into darkness. Dutch should have left. Should have fired up his bike and disappeared into the Nevada night like he always did. But the woman's face stayed with him. The way her hands had shaken. The sleeping kids who'd almost lost their mother. He followed her sedan at a distance. Made sure she reached the highway safe. Watched until her taillights merged with Phoenix-bound traffic. Only then did he pull into a truck stop and call the number on Harper's card. Detective answered on the second ring. "Reeves." "Name's Dutch Mercer. Deputy Harper said you'd want to talk." Silence. Then, "The biker from the rest stop, you still in Nevada?" "Just crossed into Arizona." "Good, stay there, I'm coming to you." Reeves's voice carried weight. "What you stumbled into tonight, it's bigger than two predators and a van, much bigger." Dutch leaned against his bike. Desert stretched endlessly in every direction. "How big?" 3 women dead in 6 months, 4 more missing. All from rest stops along I-15 and I-40. We've been tracking a trafficking ring. Tonight might be our first real break." Reeves met him at a diner outside Kingman. She was 50-something, gray-streaked hair pulled back tight. Eyes that had seen too much and forgotten nothing. "You ride alone?" she asked, sliding into the booth. "Usually." "No club?" Dutch touched the patch on his vest. "I got brothers, just not riding with them tonight." Reeves ordered coffee. Spread photos across the table. Women, young, smiling in some pictures, missing person flyers in others. Rebecca Hayes, 23, vanished from a rest stop near Barstow. That was 6 months ago. Then Michelle Torres, 31. Sarah Chen, 19. All the same story, stopped for gas or food, never made it to their destination. Dutch studied the faces. The woman tonight, she would have been next. "Yes, and because you were there, she isn't." Reeves leaned forward. "The 2 men you took down, small fish. Recruiters. They drug women, call their boss, hand them over. We need to know who that boss is." "They said they had friends." "They do, that's the problem." Reeves explained it methodically. The trafficking ring operated across 4 states. Rest stops, truck stops, anywhere travelers were vulnerable and alone. Women disappeared. Some were found dead weeks later. Others vanished completely. We've had task forces, raids, undercover operations. Every time we get close, they scatter, change locations, rotate personnel. Reeves tapped one photo. "Rebecca Hayes was my niece." Dutch went still. "I'm sorry." "Don't be sorry, help me." Reeves pulled out a burner phone. "The phone you took off crew cut, we traced recent calls. Most go to a number registered to a shell company. But there's one that's different. Local Phoenix number. Called it 20 minutes before they grabbed tonight's victim. Someone tipped them off. Someone's scouting, watching the gas stations, picking targets." Reeves met his eyes. "These people are smart, organized. They don't just snatch random women. They choose carefully, single travelers, out-of-state plates. No one who will be missed immediately." Dutch thought about the toddlers asleep in the car. "What do you need from me?" "Your club. The Hells Angels have reach, eyes everywhere. If someone's scouting rest stops, your brothers might have seen something." Dutch made calls, first to Gage, the chapter president in Phoenix, then to Ratchet in Albuquerque, then to 5 other brothers scattered across the Southwest. By sunrise, he had information. A man in a gray sedan had been spotted at multiple rest stops over the past 2 months. Always alone, always watching, never buying gas or food. Just sitting, observing, taking photos with his phone. "License plate?" Reeves asked. Dutch handed her a napkin with numbers scrawled in pen. "Ratchet got it 2 weeks ago. Thought the guy was a cop doing surveillance." Reeves ran the plate through her system. Her expression darkened. Registered to Glenn Paulson, works for Arizona Child Services. The words hit Dutch like a fist. Child Services. He has access to case files, addresses, family situations. Reeves's hands tightened on her coffee cup. He'd know which women were traveling alone, which ones were vulnerable, which ones had kids. Dutch's jaw clenched. He's not just scouting, he's shopping. Reeves stood. I need to bring him in, carefully. If he knows we're coming, he'll warn the others. Then don't let him know. Glenn Paulson lived in a quiet Phoenix suburb. Ranch house, manicured lawn, American flag hanging by the front door. The kind of place where neighbors waved and nobody suspected evil lived behind beige siding. Reeves parked 2 blocks away. Dutch sat in the passenger seat of her unmarked sedan. This wasn't his world, cops and warrants and procedure, but Reeves had asked him to come, said sometimes having a witness changed things. He's home, Reeves said, checking her phone. Surveillance team confirmed. You going in? Soon as my warrant clears. She glanced at Dutch. Why'd you really stop last night? Most bikers would have kept riding. Dutch stared at the house ahead. I had a daughter once, Emma. She was 16 when a man like Paulson took her from a mall parking lot. We found her 3 days later in a drainage ditch outside Tucson. Reeves went quiet. I wasn't there when she needed me. I was on a run out of state. By the time I got back, Dutch's voice went flat. So when I hear a woman scream in the dark, I don't keep riding. Reeves's phone buzzed. She answered, listened, hung up. Warrants through. We're moving now. 3 unmarked cars converged on the house. Reeves knocked. No answer. She knocked again, harder. Glenn Paulson, this is Phoenix PD. We have a warrant. Movement inside, footsteps. The door opened a crack. Paulson was mid-40s, thinning hair, glasses. He looked like every bland bureaucrat Dutch had ever seen. The kind of man you'd never notice in a crowd. What's this about? Paulson asked. We need to ask you some questions. May we come in? Paulson's eyes flicked past Reeves to the other officers, to Dutch standing by the car. Something shifted in his expression. I'd like to call my lawyer first. You can do that at the station. Reeves stepped forward. Mister Paulson, you're not under arrest. We just need to talk. But Paulson was already backing away. He slammed the door. Dutch heard the deadbolt turn. Reeves cursed. Back door, someone cover the back. 2 officers ran around the house. Reeves radioed for backup. Dutch moved toward the side gate. He reached the backyard as Paulson burst through the rear door. The man ran for the fence, moving faster than Dutch expected. One officer tried to cut him off. Paulson shoved past him, cleared the fence in one jump. Dutch was already moving. He'd ridden bikes for 30 years. His reflexes hadn't slowed. He hit the fence, vaulted over, landed hard in the neighbor's yard. Paulson sprinted toward a storage shed. Dutch closed the distance, grabbed Paulson's collar, yanked him backward. They both went down hard onto grass. Don't move, Dutch growled. But Paulson twisted, pulled a knife from his pocket. Small blade, serrated edge. He slashed wildly. Dutch jerked back. The knife missed by inches. Paulson scrambled up, ran again. Dutch followed. They crashed through a gate into another yard. A dog barked furiously from inside the house. Paulson reached a parked car, tried the handle. Locked. He turned, breathing hard, knife still in his hand. Stay back. Dutch stopped 5 feet away. It's over. They know what you did. I didn't do anything. You scouted those women. You fed information to traffickers. How many, Glenn? How many women did you help disappear? Paulson's hand shook. You don't understand. I didn't have a choice. They would have killed me. Who? I can't, Paulson's voice cracked. They have people everywhere. Police, government. If I talk, I'm dead. Police officers surrounded them now, weapons drawn. Reeves stepped forward slowly. Glenn, put down the knife. We can protect you. No one can protect me from them. Try us, Reeves said. Tell us who's running this operation. Give us names. Paulson looked at the knife in his hand, at the officers, at Dutch. For a moment something broke in his expression, fear, guilt, exhaustion all at once. "Her name is Vanessa," he whispered. "Vanessa Crane. She runs everything, rest stops, truck stops, the whole network." He lowered the knife slowly. "She finds the women, I just gave her information, that's all." "Where is she?" Reeves demanded. "I don't know, she moves around, uses different names, but she'll know I talked, she always knows." Paulson dropped the knife. "I'm already dead." Officers moved in, cuffed him, read him his rights. Dutch watched them load Paulson into a cruiser. The man sat with his head down, shoulders slumped. Back at the station, Reeves spread files across a conference table. "Vanessa Crane, real name unknown, no fingerprints in the system. No arrest, she's a ghost." Dutch studied surveillance photos. A woman, late 30s, dark hair, sunglasses in every... Dutch's phone buzzed. "Text from Gage, woman asking about you at the clubhouse, says it's urgent." He showed Reeves. "That happen often?" "Never." They drove to the Hellsangels clubhouse on the edge of Phoenix. Motorcycles lined the lot, Harleys, choppers, bikes that had seen decades of desert roads. Inside, Gage waited with a woman Dutch didn't recognize. She was thin, late 20s, brown hair pulled back, nervous eyes. She stood when Dutch entered. "You're the one from last night," she said, "the biker who stopped them." Dutch nodded slowly. "How'd you find me?" "I asked around, showed your picture at truck stops. Someone said you rode with the angels." She twisted her hands together. "My sister, Michelle Torres. She went missing 4 months ago from a rest stop outside Flagstaff." Dutch remembered the photo from Reeves's file. "I'm sorry." "Is she alive?" The woman's voice broke. "Please. I need to know." Reeves stepped forward. "I'm Detective Reeves. We're working your sister's case. What's your name?" Anna Torres." She pulled out her phone, showed them a text message. "I got this an hour ago from Michelle's number. It just says help and coordinates." Reeves took the phone, examined the message. Her expression went tight. "When was the last time you heard from your sister before this?" "The day she disappeared. She texted me from the rest stop. Said she was grabbing coffee, then nothing." Dutch looked at the coordinates. Remote desert location, 60 miles outside Phoenix. Could be a trap. "Or it could be Michelle reaching out," Anna said desperately. "Please, I have to try." Reeves made calls, organized a tactical team, but Dutch could see the doubt in her eyes. 4 months was a long time. Most trafficking victims didn't survive that long. The coordinates led to an abandoned mining operation. Rusted equipment scattered across cracked earth, buildings with collapsed roofs, no vehicles, no signs of life. Reeves's tactical team moved in first, sweeping structures methodically. Dutch waited with Anna by the vehicles, watching dust rise in the late afternoon heat. "Clear," came the radio call. "No one here." Anna's face crumpled. "She was here, I know she was." Dutch walked toward the largest building. Something felt wrong. The text had been sent an hour ago, too recent for the place to be completely abandoned. He scanned the ground, boot prints in the dust, fresh ones. "Reeves," he called. "Someone was here recently." They found it in the third building, a room with a steel door, padlock broken and hanging loose. Inside, mattresses on the floor, empty water bottles, a bucket in the corner. The smell hit Dutch immediately, unwashed bodies, fear, desperation. On the wall, scratched into concrete, names, dozens of them. Some had dates beside them, others just initials. Anna stepped inside, saw the names, and started crying. "Michelle, her name's here." She pointed to scratches near the floor. "Michelle T. March 14, 4 months ago, the day she disappeared." Reeves photographed everything, called in forensics. Dutch stood outside, staring at the desert horizon. This had been a holding facility, a place where women waited before being moved somewhere else. Anna sat on the ground, hugging her knees. She was alive. She was here. "She might still be," Dutch said, though he didn't know if he believed it. Gage pulled up on his bike, 2 other brothers with him. "Got something," he said. "Local we know saw a semi-truck leaving this area yesterday. White trailer, no company markings. headed east on Highway 60. Reeves overheard. We put out an APB on any white semis, but there's hundreds on the roads. Not with a woman driving, Gage said. Our guy specifically mentioned that. Woman with dark hair behind the wheel. Reeves went rigid. Vanessa. Dutch turned to her. She's moving them. She knows Paulson talked. She's clearing out. Highway 60 goes through Show-Low, then into New Mexico. If she's running, she'll try to cross state lines. Reeves was already moving toward her car. We need to set up roadblocks now. Dutch looked at his bike, then at Reeves. Roadblocks take time, paperwork, coordination. By the time you get authorization, she'll be in Texas. What are you suggesting? Let me find her first. Reeves should have said no. Should have cited procedure, jurisdiction, liability. Instead, she handed Dutch her card. You see that truck, you call me immediately. Do not engage. Dutch fired up his Harley. Gage and the others did the same. 4 bikes, rumbling engines, leather and chrome. They rolled out as the sun touched the mountains. Highway 60 stretched empty before them. Dutch opened the throttle, let the wind tear at his vest. They rode hard, covering ground fast. Past cars and pickups and tourist RVs. An hour east of Phoenix, Ratchet spotted it first. White semi, no markings, pulling into a truck stop outside Show-Low. Dutch signaled. They slowed, kept their distance. Watched the truck park away from other vehicles. The driver's door opened. A woman climbed down, dark hair, sunglasses, jeans, and a leather jacket. She moved with purpose toward the truck stop diner. That's her, Gage said quietly. Has to be. Dutch dialed Reeves. We found your truck. Show-Low, Highway 60, Flying J truck stop. Do not approach, we're 30 minutes out. Dutch watched Vanessa disappear into the diner. 30 minutes is too long. She could leave any minute. Dutch, I mean it. He hung up, looked at his brothers. We're not letting her leave. They positioned bikes around the semi, blocking exit routes. Dutch approached the trailer, pressed his ear against the metal. Heard nothing at first. Then faint, a sound like someone moving, maybe breathing. He tried the rear doors, locked. Heavy padlock, industrial strength. Need bolt cutters, he said. Gage pulled a set from his saddlebag. Always prepared. The lock snapped. Dutch opened the doors slowly. Interior was dark. He pulled out his phone, used the flashlight. 4 women huddled in the corner, thin, terrified, blinking against the sudden light. One had a black eye. Another held a blanket around herself like armor. It's okay, Dutch said quietly. We're getting you out. She'll kill us, one woman whispered. If we run, she'll kill us. Not today, Dutch extended his hand. Come on. Police are on the way. Movement behind him. Dutch turned. Vanessa stood 10 feet away, gun in her hand. Step away from the truck. Dutch didn't move. Behind her, Gage and the others closed in slowly. I said step away. Vanessa's voice was cold, professional. You have no idea who you're dealing with. I know exactly who you are. Vanessa glanced at the bikes surrounding her, at the 4 bikers moving closer. You think numbers matter? I've got partners. Law enforcement, politicians. One call and you're all arrested for trafficking. Make the call, Dutch said. See what happens. She hesitated. That 1 second of doubt was enough. Gage lunged, grabbed her gun arm. The weapon discharged into the air. Vanessa fought trained, dangerous, but 4 bikers overpowered her quickly. Ratchet zip-tied her wrists. Not so tough now. Police sirens wailed in the distance. Dutch returned to the trailer. Helped each woman down carefully. They were shaking, crying, clinging to each other. One of them looked at him. Michelle, is there a Michelle here? A woman at the back raised her hand slowly. I'm Michelle. Anna's voice came from behind Dutch. She'd arrived with Reeves. Michelle, oh God, Michelle. The sisters collapsed into each other, sobbing. Reeves took custody of Vanessa. Read her rights while the woman stared at Dutch with pure hatred. You just made a very powerful enemy. Get in line, Dutch said. Paramedics checked the women. Gave them water, blankets, medical attention. Reeves coordinated with federal agents who'd arrived. This was bigger than local jurisdiction now. Dutch stood by his bike watching the chaos. Gage approached, clapped his shoulder. Hell of a ride. Yeah, you good. Dutch thought about Emma, about 16 years of guilt and rage, about a woman screaming in the desert and 2 kids sleeping in a car. I'm getting there. Some roads you ride for freedom. Others you ride because someone needs you to stop. Dutch learned long ago that the patch on his back wasn't just leather and thread. It was a promise to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. Sometimes the best thing a biker can do is refuse to keep riding. If this story touched you, hit subscribe and ride with us. More stories of bikers who stop when others need them most.